So you can get a little skinnier as it gets toward the target line and then just round it out. And then your upper arm will be the correct proportion. Okay? The upper arm will be the correct proportion. Yes, they look ridiculous. I agree. I've decided my neck's a little weird right here. I'm going to widen that a little bit so it looks better. And erase some of this later. Okay? Now all you've got to do is put the forearm on. The forearm sort of picks up where this left off, obviously. Okay? And you're going to draw another cylinder or tube-like shape, which is basically going to land you just a little bit lower than the number 4, which is this guideline that you've already drawn. Okay? So that your arm, the forearm ends pretty much at the top of the thigh. Like so. On each side. That's where you want your forearm to end. The forearm, this is your forearm, right? Then your upper arm. Forearm, yeah. F-O-R-E. Arm, A-R-M. And then for the hands, you can copy the hands that you see if you like on the croquis. You'll notice that they go beyond the number 5 just a bit. And they've rendered a small rectangle to represent the thumb. The thumb will be closest to the thigh. Okay? And then a slightly larger rectangle that makes it all the way pretty much to the number 5 on each side. And then they just sort of finish this off with another rectangle or perhaps a slightly truncated triangle for the tips of the fingers, and so the hands are just resting by the side. So your fingertips land between the numbers 5 and 6. The fingertips should land between the numbers 5 and 6. And now you have your croquis. Now the reason fashion designers create, they draw these kinds of croquis, front, back, side, they do multiple versions and so on, okay? So that they have a bunch handy in a fashion book, so if they all of a sudden get an idea about what some kind of dress they want to create or whatever, they can just quickly draw it on top of the croquis they've already drawn. Okay? And they practice this over and over and over and over again from every possible angle until they're very familiar with the proportions that are needed for fashion, because they're very different from the proportions that they drew in art school, where figures are more like 7 heads tall. A regular human is more like 7 heads tall. Not 9. 9 is like a crazy stretchy lady. Okay? And that's basically it. You may congratulate yourself for having drawn your first croquis. Now the croquis, what you're going to do with it is, remember the folder I gave you? Piece of paper you're supposed to fold in half, turn to a folder. Okay.